Magic is medicine. Now, remember, I talked about medicine. Medicines are plants. Medicines are the plants that are used in rituals and are accompanied by spells. But the real power of magic and of the medicines is in the plant. Now, it's not enough to just know that a plant is magical and know what the plant can do. A sorcerer has to know how to use the plant, how to treat the plant. And they have to learn that from someone else, from another sorcerer. They have to purchase it from someone. So there's a system of exchange here. It's important to note that these spells and incantations that people use to address the plant, medicines, are kind of innovative. What do I mean by that? It's not like you get a book of spells that tells you how to treat the plant and the spell or the mantra or whatnot you have to say. In fact, there's a relationship with the plant. So the sorcerer using the plant addresses the plant, talks to the plant, figures out how to use the medicine, but they don't say the same thing every time. There's an innovation every time. They're spoken, the ways of addressing the medicine are spoken afresh by every ritualist in the moment. That said, there are patterns. Evans Pritchard notes that that speaking to the plants is more like a genre than sort of a list of formulaic spells. And sometimes you can deploy medicines, or Zandi can deploy medicines that don't have a ritual or a spell. It's like the plant itself and someone consuming it or its deployment has power in and of itself without a ritual to support it. So Evans Pritchard notes that there's no clear connection between the substance, the very plant itself, between the plant itself and what the medicine is supposed to do. So in this way, you've heard me talk before about a persuasive analogy in the sense that, remember in the context of India, you take a skull cup, or the top of a skull or cup in general, and you put a seed inside it. The seed then sprouts because you've been pouring milk over it. The sprouts of the seed are thought to be like creepers that immobilize the human being that's the target. So there it's a persuasive analogy. You'd look at the cup with the seed that's sprouting out, and you'd say, oh, effectively, you'd say something like, may this sprouting vine that's coming out of the cup be like a vine that is binding and forcing, or not forcing, binding a person from being able to move in any way. So there it's a persuasive analogy. You see, the vine grows up just like what you want to do to the person. They are as if they're held by vines. Now, there's not a connection here between the medicines. So everybody he talks to is like, all right. So this medicine, this plant does this thing. And he's like, but the plant itself does not have like a symbolic relationship between what its effect is supposed to be. So there's no persuasive analogy. It's not like sympathetic magic that, like I take the snake scale and the mongoose fur, I put them together, and then I chant the names of the people who love each other, and now they'll hate each other like a snake and a mongoose. There's no connection like that. And this makes me actually wonder a little bit, why do we look for a structure to magic? I mean, I keep talking about magic structures. Why is it so weird to Evans Pritchard or to us reading that the Zandi don't have this type of specific structure or analogy? I would argue that the sort of free form quality of magic amongst the Zandi allows for innovation and vibrancy. It frees the magician from having to go and look at a magic book or consult an authority. The magician can just do the thing. But it's surely a system. It all makes sense. I mean, look at everything Evans Pritchard says. It's clear that there's a sophisticated system here. Now, one interesting argument here about the deployment of magic, Mua, is that it's done in private. It's done maybe with a few people around, but in general, you don't want people to see you doing this. Everybody does magic, but nobody wants to be seen doing magic. Why? Because it's bad? No. Because if somebody looks at you doing magic, they might deploy their witchcraft. Witchcraft is everywhere because they get jealous. So you want to do it in private so nobody screws it up by their jealousy and their witchcraft. So how do you acquire or deploy magic? Well, magic is purchased from someone else who has learned from someone else. So magic medicines, charms, and whistles are purchased just like any other property. And they're generally bought in this system of exchanging spears. Now, we've seen this before. It's like 18 spears for this thing, blah, blah, blah. That's in Evan's picture. Now, usually it would be you would give someone a single spear in this spear economy, but also give them like pots of beer, which sound delicious, and like, other things and whatnot. So you'd be like, I will give you 18 spears. You give them one spear that you've made, spear economy, and then also other stuff. So 18 spears would be like one spear and a whole bunch of other stuff that you give people. So there's a system of exchange. And in fact, the sorcerer or magician and the person whom he, and it's usually he, sells the spell to, or the medicine to, or the person he teaches for that matter, they actually have like a temporary system of apprenticeship where they're connected as they learn the medicine. And it's not just learning the medicine. The sorcerer would probably be like, here's this magic thing. I've made these up. This is how you make it. Eat this right now. Then you eat the medicine, and then that enriches you and gives the ability to teach someone else and to have the power to deploy the magic. It's kind of cool. Sounds kind of fun. So magicians don't have a great amount of prestige in society because everybody uses some type of magic. Having powerful magic, on the other hand, magic that's known to be potent, is prestigious. Magicians are generally middle-aged or older men, though we do read about younger people these days using, or these days in the 20s, the 1920s. Wow, that's 100 years ago. All right. Anyway, Ellery, calm down. So younger people would do it, but it would be around the things that young people would want, like using medicines to be able to sing a long time, to dance a long time, to make love a long time. It's sort of youthful things. But our system of magic about vengeance and jealousy and counter sorcery, that's more the domain of old fuddy-duddies who are obsessed with these sort of matters. So, of course, that they would be the ones that use it.